Welcome to Empathy. We are going to transform your students' lives. We're going to transform your classroom. We're going to do it through empathy. Empathy will build community. We're going to do 4 different types of empathy: feelings empathy, tonal empathy, needs-based empathy, and empathy similes. Oh my God, so much empathy. It's going to be amazing, believe me. And then we'll use real-life experiences for practice and integration. It's going to be an amazing journey. Let's go ahead and start with lesson 1. It's lesson 23 in the book, and this is called Feelings Empathy. We'll start with an opening question, do a really fun icebreaker called Emotion Motion. You'll see it's going to be great. What empathy isn't, and finally we'll do some practice. All right, let's start with the opening question. This is what do you do or say when you want to show you understand how someone feels? Not everybody's going to be able to answer this. It's okay to pass. Just gets the conversation started. Here, I actually go straight into what empathy is. I don't use the shared definition exercise. I say, hey, look, empathy means you understand what someone else's emotion or experience is. You can ask students too. Doesn't matter either way. In this unit, I'm going to say we're going to explore a few different types of empathy. So already the wheels are churning. There's a few different types. Yeah, there are. And we're going to do it. And then we start with a really fun activity. You ask for a volunteer. You say, hey, okay, ask student A, please go outside the room. While that student is gone, the rest of the group chooses an emotion. Could be joy, fear, anger, and maybe actually don't start with anger. Joy, resignation. Here, I think we have students who are feeling resigned. Have student A return after everybody knows what emotion they chose, and then have them do an activity for the group to do together. In this case, they're moving chairs, but they do it expressing the emotion without talking. Okay? Then the group does the activity with their chosen emotion. Student A then guesses, what emotion's there? They guess, is that joy? No. Is it jubilation? No. Is it depression? Is it depression? And everybody goes, yay, it was depression. It could be kind of funny, or whatever emotion it is. And then you could repeat with another student many, many times. So not long. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, not longer than 10 minutes. And there you have students connect to really empathy already. You're guessing what someone else is feeling based on what they're physically doing. Okay, variation. The class can also choose the activity and the emotion. Doesn't matter. The student who leads can guess both what they're doing. Reflection. What did you do to show emotion, and what did you do to detect emotion? Your first bit of empathy. Okay, a big topic in the empathy community is, of course, is what empathy is not. People make a distinction between empathy and pity, of course, and pity is not empathy. So it's worth talking about what empathy is not. Okay, so I say, now that we know what empathy is, we are going to define what empathy isn't. That's really interesting. People goes, okay, what does that mean? And you ask, if you complain about losing a wallet and your friend tells you that they also lost their wallet, is this empathy? And it's interesting because you say, this is not wrong or bad. You don't say, oh, it's not empathy, therefore it's wrong. But you want to say, it's not actually empathy when you share your own experience, because you're not connecting to, it's sort of connecting to their experience, but it's not naming it. And by doing that, their response is called a Me Too response, but that's not empathy. Again, not bad, but it's not empathy. You go to another one and say, ask, if you get a bad grade on a test and someone responds by giving advice on how to study next time, is this empathy? And again, they say this response is advice, which can be helpful. Everybody wants advice at certain times, but it's not empathy. And you can also ask them, when have you wanted empathy, somebody to understand you, and all they gave you was advice? And that might actually work more for adults than kids. Sometimes advice works for kids, but this will be beginning to get kids to make a distinction between what empathy is, which is deeply understanding someone's experience, or just giving them, or problem solving. Problem solving is great, but not always, not especially when you want empathy. Are you out there? Do you agree with me? I know. I'm like that too. I sometimes just want people to understand. Sometimes I want advice. Anyway, ask if someone's girlfriend breaks up with him and you ask them what they did wrong. Is that empathy? Now you get kind of funny about it, right? You can change the order of this if you want to start with something funny. That's great. And then say, well, this is actually interrogation or something like that, and not empathy. There are a long list of this. If you can look it up, what empathy isn't, there's a lot of people who do this lesson. Ask if a friend shares their disappointment over their dry turkey sandwich, and you tell them they should be happy, the shoulds, right? Judgments. And they are not going to starve. Is this empathy? You can call it dismissive, you can call it judgmental. It's definitely not empathy. And here students are getting into, there's actually many ways to respond. They thought was empathy, but actually they're getting more conscious of how to really refine deep connection. And lastly, you could say, now that we know what empathy is and isn't, let's practice it. Okay, and we're going to do it from a feelings perspective. Reflection, how is empathy different from other responses? Please say nothing is wrong or right? You could say it's right that nothing's wrong or right, because some people use as a tool, say, hey, that's not empathy. And they do that, even adults do that. So let's make that not a practice. All right. You want to get the PDF where we have the feelings associated with met needs. This is a condensed list from the NVC.org list, just to make it a little bit easier for students. Feelings associated with met needs. So here we have that list of feelings. You could use a bigger list if you'd like. You can tell the students these first set of feelings are associated with when you have something that you want in your life. It's something that everybody wants. A little complicated. I say skip it. Just go straight to these are the feelings that are often positive. These are the ones that are negative. If they remember from a different unit that you've done this work before, you can use it, but I often just say, here's a list of feelings. Okay, instructions. Demonstrate giving a student empathy by listening to them, and then use the feelings list to guess what they might be feeling. So, for example, I'll have somebody come up and say, what's going on with your day? And they might say, this happened, this happened, this happened. I go, were you amazed that that person did that for you? And they go, no, not really amazed. And I go, were you surprised? And they go, oh yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. And in that moment, I'm demonstrating a few things there. One, that it's okay to just guess curiously without like needing to be right. But just the attempt at guessing somebody's feelings, already you're going to be connecting to them. And then when you do get that just nuanced version of what they're feeling, that's why I like a lot of choices for feelings. You don't want to say you feel good, you feel bad. It's like actually surprised would have been different than amazed. And that will actually connect to them. And you always know you get this person will tell you if it's right. And then the person also lights up a little bit when you connect to their feelings. For example, say they expressed they're angry at another teacher or something like that. And they might say, were you bothered? And they say, no, it's not quite right. Were you aggravated or enraged or frustrated? They go, yeah, I was really mad because they did this. And the moment they say, yeah, that's when you have that magic light that comes on where they say, okay, I'm being connected with on a feelings level. And you want to demonstrate this. And again, when you demonstrate this, you might be better at it than students, you might not be. But what's key you're emphasizing is that you try. And when you try, that level of empathy you're already connecting to people on a deep, 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 deep level. Okay? All right, so some more instructions about that. Say, an empathy guess is given with curiosity. We talked about that. And formatted as a question. You don't say, hey, you're feeling this. You want to ask the question. Are you feeling confused, students? And you are a partner in trying to help the speaker figure out what they might be feeling without any additional comments. So notice that it's saying, are you feeling confused? I don't say you're feeling confused because this happened, and then your mother did this when you were like 5 years old. It's not an analysis, everybody. It's very simple. You're just getting, are you feeling, and what is, and getting blank. And I demonstrate that from the beginning. Are students able to do that immediately? No, they need practice. That's why we're doing these lessons. And the student says, are you feeling confused? I don't know what to do. Are you feeling confused? That's always one. Feeling confused. I use that a lot. Okay. Divide students then into pairs after you do the demonstration and give each student a feeling list. Ask student A to share anything that is on their mind for 1 minute. And if they don't know what's on their mind, say review something that happened during the day. You can prepare students ahead of time, say have 10 things in mind that happened. It depends on your students. Some will need a little preparation. Say, hey, maybe 10's too much. Choose 3 things that happened today that you're going to share with your friends. Everybody have that list? Everybody has it? Okay, 3 things, great. Then student A will share those 3 things that happened. Better if it's in the present, but if they don't have it, it's okay. And then ask student B to listen silently. At the end of 1 minute, ask student B to guess, hey, what are you feeling? Give that empathy guess. And emphasize, are you feeling blank? And make sure it's a question. Okay. Then switch roles. Repeat the empathy process. But in round 2, the listener can give an empathy guess at any time. I'm sorry. The first time you do that, you're just being silent and wondering. And then you try the second time and give a guess. The reason is because very often people interrupt each other when they're listening, and they do it unconsciously. So the first time you do it, you want to practice with silence, and they probably won't even be silent. But you can ask them to be silent, and the second time they'll give the empathy guess. At the end, you'll ask, hey, how did it feel to receive empathy? And then the homework will be, okay, guess what people are feeling, not not all the time, but gets people feeling internally without saying anything. So you're just practicing, asking students to practice, and then the next day you ask, hey, how did it go? What happened? And how did you know what the person was feeling? Or why did you guess that? And how did it affect your experience when you were guessing what people were feeling?